I know how it feels when you see a mattress that looks perfect on the website, only to discover that the night after you set it up it feels either too soft, too hard, or just plain unbalanced. That hesitation wondering if you'll waste a few $100s on a bed that looks great in pictures but ends up being a nightly disappointment is something I hear in almost every comment thread about online mattress shopping. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When it comes to a California King hybrid, the stakes feel even higher. You're not just buying a sleeping surface. You're investing in a piece of furniture that defines the whole bedroom layout, that has to accommodate 2 adults, sometimes kids or pets, and it has to survive a year or more of nightly use without sagging or developing hot spots. The CertiPUR Sleeper Pro Geneva tries to hit a sweet spot with its 13.5-inch profile, a firm feel, 5 support zones, and a graphite-infused latex layer that promises both bounce and cooling. The question is whether those promises translate into a night that feels genuinely restful, or whether you're just getting a well-packaged box of foam and springs that sound good on paper. First, let's talk about the kind of sleeper who will get the most out of this mattress. If you're the type who sleeps on your back or stomach, you've probably noticed that a firmer surface helps keep the spine aligned and prevents that bottom-heavy sinking feeling that can leave your lower back sore. The Geneva's firm rating is not a marketing gimmick. The combination of a dense latex core and a pocket coil layer is designed to keep the middle of the mattress from giving too much underweight. For couples where at least one person prefers a firmer feel, this can be a real advantage, especially in a California King where the surface area can sometimes mask a lack of support. Another practical strength is the cooling technology. The CoolFeel Pro fabric on the cover, paired with graphite-infused latex, is meant to draw heat away from the body. In real life, I've seen people with night sweats notice a slight reduction in how hot they feel after a few weeks, mainly because the cover breathes better than many synthetic alternatives. If you live in a warmer climate or tend to get warm during the night, the cooling claim isn't just a buzzword, it can actually make a noticeable difference in how often you toss and turn. The 5-zone support system is also worth mentioning. The zones are split into head, shoulders, lumbar, hips, and leg sections, each with a slightly different firmness gradient. In practice, this means that the mattress can cradle the shoulders while still providing enough resistance under the hips, which is a common complaint with single-density foam beds. For side sleepers who sometimes have to share the bed with a partner who rolls over, those zones help prevent the sink-in effect that can otherwise disturb the other sleeper. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The firmness that makes this mattress a good match for back and stomach sleepers can be a drawback for anyone who loves a plush, sink-in feeling. If you're a dedicated side sleeper, you might find the Geneva a bit too unforgiving on the shoulders, especially if you have broader hips. The firm latex core does its job holding you up, but it doesn't have the same contouring softness you'd get from a softer memory foam top layer. In other words, you might still feel pressure points on the shoulders after a few hours. Because this is a hybrid, the pocket coil system does add a bit of bounce, which can be great for people who share the bed with a partner who moves a lot. However, the bounce also means that if one person gets up in the middle of the night, the other can feel that motion more than on a fully foam mattress. It's not a deal breaker for most, but it's something to consider if you're very light sleeping or if you share a bed with a restless sleeper. Shipping and setup are another practical aspect that often gets glossed over in marketing. Serta ships this mattress compressed in a box, which is standard for the industry, but the 13.5-inch thickness means the box is still fairly bulky. Most reviewers report that it takes about 45 minutes to unbox, remove the protective plastic, and let the mattress expand fully. The first 24-hour expansion period is when you'll notice the mattress feeling a little firmer than its final state. If you're planning to set it up in a room where the bed frame is already in place, give yourself at least a day before you actually start sleeping on it. That patience pays off because the latex and coil layers need that time to settle into their intended shape. One point that can be confusing for buyers is the 100-night trial. The policy is generous: return it within 100 nights if you're not satisfied, but you'll be responsible for the return shipping cost. That's fairly typical for premium mattresses, but it's still a cost you should